All right, everyone. Welcome to another Wellness Wednesday. It is that time again. We are going to be getting into mindset today. It's going to be a little bit different than our typical sciencey kind of energetic work. However, this is going to tie mindset, what you have in your brain, how you go into a therapy, for example, with your biomodulator, what that looks like in terms of your outcomes and best practices, what we've seen over time work for people, how to get the most out of not just a biomodulator therapy or something that you're doing with Synergy, but overall in your health. How does your mindset play a role? Before I get into that, I do have some questions to answer, some comments that I want to clarify for people because we've gotten a lot of great, amazing feedback over the past couple weeks as we've been putting some of these things out. And I told you that I wanted this to be a two-way conversation. So I'm going to answer some of those, clarify some things for the upcoming events that we have before I get into the mindset work. So just so everybody is clear, we have two events coming up in March. Those are the only two events that are hosted by Synergy that are using the original Tenant biomodulator, and none of the other events are associated with us in any way. It is the first is the Foundation of Health Summit, our biomodulator training, our biomodulator 101. That is going to be using this device on people to see how to practically use it, to get the science behind it, of course, but to see how that translates into real world results, how to use it on different things that you might have going on, get your questions answered, and see all of the amazing things that these devices can do. So that is our Biomodulator 101 training, the Foundation of Health Summit, March 7th and 8th. Over that weekend is when we are going to be doing that training. That is open to everyone. It is $450 for non-device owners, and it will be free included with your purchase if you have purchased a biomodulator recently or you still have a conference ticket available to you. Call if you're unsure as to whether you qualify for that. But the amazing thing that I failed to mention a couple of times, I have mentioned it in the past, but I was getting questions on this. The $450, not only does it get you your foot in the door either virtually or in person if you can make it. I highly recommend it. It's going to be awesome in person. We're going to put on a great show virtually as well, but if you can make it there, that $450 either way will go to store credit if you purchase within the next 2 weeks after the conference. So that $450, you can use it towards a device, a new biomodulator, an accessory, an upgrade, however you want to do it based on your situation. And you will get credit for that $450. So that ticket is essentially free if you decide to upgrade, to add on, or to buy a new device, which is totally amazing for people who are on the fence. They're not sure. They want to see what it can do, feel it on themselves first before they take the plunge. This is a great opportunity because if you do decide, you can apply that $450 towards your purchase within that next 2 weeks after the conference. So that is super cool. We also have that is Synergy hosted, and we're going to be doing that one the week after, from Thursday to Saturday, the 12th to the 14th of March. Danielle Palmer and Natalie Sakamoto, they are going to be doing an advanced practitioner training. That is for practitioners who run a clinic or for people who are interested in becoming a biofrequency therapist, which is something that is pretty brand new to the market. We're kind of pioneering that term and that type of therapy for people. So it is super exciting. This is very exclusive, very hands-on, very intimate setting. And that is hosted by Natalie and Danielle. And that is separate from the Synergy conference. You do not have to attend both, which is a question we've been getting asked. You don't have to attend both. They are separate. You can attend one or the other or both. It's up to you. And that is really going to be hands-on. It's very different than the type of training that we are doing on the 7th and the 8th. The 7th and the 8th is more for at-home use, how to apply it to yourself, how to help others around you with it, but really get comfortable you using the device without the need for anyone else around. You can do it in the comfort of your own home, and to see the science behind it, it's much more basic level than the 12th to the 14th practitioner training, where you're going to be learning how to use this in clinic. What is it going to mean for a clinic if you add it on, or if you open one fresh with this being the center of it? What health outcomes can you expect? What does it change in terms of the therapeutic options that you offer? And so much more. So they're very different audiences and very different types of training. So just to keep that in mind, if you are interested in one or the other, I hope that clarifies, and you can make your decision based on your situation. Another point of clarification for those, the Biomodulator 101 training on the 7th and the 8th, that will be recorded, that will be uploaded into our education portal. If you're a device owner, you have access to that for free, and it will be uploaded after the event. The practitioner course with Danielle and Natalie will not be recorded. That is live only. They have a virtual option. However, you need a body to work on. It doesn't have to be a real person. It can be a dummy or whatever. They just want to see how you are applying the biomodulator on there so that they can correct you in real time. Like I said, it's very exclusive, very intimate setting. So you're going to be getting live feedback from them. And that's why they don't want to do a recording on it. They want you to be in the room. They're also going to be doing certifications, which is amazing. And they will talk more on that, what that means. It's an international certification. Like I said, we're building that out. So it's super, super cool and recognized internationally. And not only do you get that in-person training, but you also get an online training for practitioners that has lifetime access that is included with your ticket, all for the same price, all included in that $1,600, $1,599, I believe it is right now. And you will get both. And if you've already purchased the online training, you get access to the in-person course as well. So vice versa, either way that you go about it, you get access to both. And there will be more opportunities to join a live session for that certification and for that training in the future. They're going to be making those announcements if you can't make this one. So to recap, the Biomodulator 101 Foundation of Health, Synergy hosted March 7th and 8th, all day, both days. A lot of amazing speakers. That one will be recorded and uploaded to our education portal. The practitioner training, March 12th to the 14th, run by Danielle and Natalie. Lots of hands-on, very exclusive, and that will not be recorded. And it will include an online course, and there will be more opportunities for that in the future. No other events live in person are going to be hosted by Synergy in March. So those are the only two to get your biomodulator training in March as we kick this off. So with that being said, today is all about mindset. Okay. So if you guys happen to attend over the weekend, on Saturday, we did a little preview event for our larger events coming up in March. And I wanted to do something different. I wanted to bring that mindset piece into the energy work and the training that we typically do, the science behind all that stuff. We're going to go really, really deep into that on the 2-day summit, on the practitioner training. Those are going to be really deep into the science, why it works, how it works, and how to actually use it. However, mindset and that piece is critical, and it's often overlooked when we talk about health and when we talk about getting back out of pain, out of discomfort. How does your mind play a role? And so if you want to learn about it's more of a deep dive. It's more of a metaphorical, analytical type of training that is recorded, and you should have gotten an email if you signed up for that. If not, we're going to have it posted as well on our channels. So check that out because it's a fun way. We built the foundation together, and we showed you why starting if you're in pain already, starting from there and trying to just layer things on builds you up, but with a very shaky foundation. And that's why a lot of times you're not getting the results that you're after because you didn't start with that foundation first. You didn't build out your energy. You didn't build out that mindset that I am going to get healthy. And so I have a solid foundation on which to build. And so that's what we did at that Saturday training. It's about 2 hours, and we do get into some of the science on the second half. So it's really, really fun, and I recommend checking that out. Today, I'm not going to do the same thing. I'm going to talk about a little different type of mindset work, what we've seen over the past 20 years in our most successful clients. What did they do differently? How did they approach their biomodulator therapy that got them results that were far and above even what we've seen in other clients. And the great thing about this device is that it can take even the most ardent skeptics and turn them into believers because of the way that it works. And so that is super, super cool to see. But there's definitely things that you can do to make your therapy, to make your sessions that much better, and to prepare even if you don't have a device or you're using other things, or throughout the day, if you feel your energy start to fade or that pain to start creep back up, then you can get out of that without needing to run to the biomodulator or to say, well, I guess I'm the one that it doesn't work for. That is largely mitigated when you have the right mindset and when you use these tools that can help in the moment. Because it's one thing for me to talk to you here on this webinar and say, listen, all you got to do is think positively and it'll be so much easier. But in the heat of the moment, it's a lot harder to do that. The hardest thing about positive thinking is that you have to think about it. When you are really struggling and you're in that moment, it is not your conscious mind that's in control. Your subconscious is bypassing all of the rationality that's in your brain and saying, no, I have to survive. This is terrible. And I don't have time to think positively. This is going horribly wrong. And so we want to short circuit that and bring it back into our conscience and take control so that we have a better outcome. Does that make sense? Okay, awesome. So let me bring it to the biomodulator, because this is what we see a lot of times, especially when people are first using it or they become too comfortable using it because they've used it for a while and their results start to fade because they're not doing it the way that they did it in the beginning to get their good results. So I have my Y electrode here. I'm doing my ANS, and tell me which one of these scenarios you think I'm going to get a better outcome with. Okay. Oh man. Yeah, I know. I got to take the kids to school. Oh my God, those Republicans. Oh, those Democrats. Oh, I can't believe it. Oh my goodness, I have to finish that before the end of the week. I can't do it. Oh my goodness, why isn't this energy working? Oh my God, I'm just not getting the results anymore. Somebody, I'm gonna ask for a refund. This is ridiculous. Do you think that that is going to get you good results, even with the amazing energy that is coming out of this device? Not very likely. If instead I took all of that, it's still going on in my life. I still have things, stressors around, but for 5 minutes, I put it on my neck, take a deep breath, close my eyes and let the energy do its work. I maybe say some gratitude sayings, what I'm grateful for today, how happy I am that I have this device that can shift my state in that moment, calm everything down. Ah, there it is. Much, much better. Now I can tackle the day. Now I'm ready. My shoulders have dropped. Everything is back. Everything is open. The energy is flowing. Now I feel good. Now I have that foundation, that baseline that I'm ready to take things on. So that was an example of your mindset going into the actual therapy. We see this all the time, especially when we're at events. There's a lot of stimuli going on. People are coming in. They're like, all right, just reset me. See what it does. I've done these before. It's not going to work. Oh my God, there's a million other things going on. And they do it and they don't get much results because they've been distracted the whole time. If the same person in a different setting does it, and I've seen this happen over and over, where they're in a chaotic environment and they didn't get the result, and then we bring them into a private room or we see them at a different event where it's calmer and they get the result right away because we prep them properly, or we just had a different environment on which to experience the biomodulator, and it works like a charm. And so keep this in mind, and we keep it in mind as well. We're not oblivious to this either. It's not just on your end, the person who is receiving the therapy. It's also on us to make sure that you get the best results. And that means if I come in, it's like, no, just get it done. Just get it done. We have a whole line of people behind you. Let's go. That won't get the result for clients either. So we keep that in mind. And I keep it in mind when I am on these conference calls as well, because, I'm on camera a lot. And I don't know if you know this, but there are people that don't appreciate the sound of my voice for whatever reason, or that aren't happy with a topic one week. And they express their views quite clearly in the comments or in some feedback. And if I took my energy and gave it away to them and let them suck all of the positivity out of me, then I'm not going to deliver for everyone who is enjoying it. I am giving them my power, and I refuse to do that. So that is another thing to keep in mind. If there's negativity around you, not all the time can you control that. What you can control is your reaction to it, what you allow yourself to absorb. If somebody is negative, they're negative, choose not to absorb their negativity. Stay positive, and that light will outshine the darkness. Does that make sense? So it's within you to have your energy be solid, even when there's a lot of stressors around you, in you, whatever the case may be, because sometimes you can't control them, but you can control what you bring to the experience. Um, so let me see. So yeah, it really comes down to mindset is an energy game. If you are constantly focused on the negative, that is what you're going to get. If you are focused on the positive, the same thing is going to happen. So let me give you some tips and tricks on how to overcome some of these energetic challenges, how to get into the right mindset, how to stay in the right mindset and make it easier and easier as you go, so that it builds just like the energy in the biomodulator. The biomodulator is here not so you become dependent on it, but so that it shows your body what is possible, so that your body wants to get into that healthy state more readily, more easily, without needing the physical stimulation. It shows your nervous system what it looks like to have a healthy, energetic transference throughout your entire body. And then it makes it easier to do it each time. So if you're struggling, if you've had results in the past, you're new to this, or you just want some ideas on how to break a negative state, let me walk you through 3 simple steps to bring yourself back and to set it up so that you're not going into that negativity as easily. You're staying in the positivity and you're allowing this energy to stay here, to be more readily absorbed and to not dissipate once you have it in, to hold on to it and allow it to uh, flow throughout the body in a much easier way. So the first thing is purpose. Now, I'm not talking in the existential way where I'm Tiger Woods and I have a golf club in my hand while I'm still in diapers. I know exactly what I want, and that is my purpose in life. Most people are not like that. Most people think that they need to be like that, especially when I'm doing coaching work. I'm working with executives. I'm doing leadership work. People are like, "Well, I don't know my purpose. I don't know. I don't have one." Let's take it smaller than that. We're not going to talk about the big picture purpose. That if you have one, that's great. And if you want to develop one, that's also amazing. It doesn't have to be something that is totally just on point right now. You can develop it, you can work into it, you can have one for the next year and then change it as you go. It doesn't have to be something that's static all the time. It's just something that is going to propel you forward in the moment and for the next few months so that you have something to strive towards, that all of your goals center around. Does that make sense? Something that is going to motivate you. Is it your friends? Is it your family? What beyond yourself is motivational to you to get the job done? So let's take it on a micro level. What does it mean for your health? Not overall your career and everything that you want to do, but just your health. If you're in pain, if you have discomfort, if you've been this way for a long time, what would it mean to you to get out of that pain? What would you be able to do? Who would it benefit? How would you live differently? What kind of things would you do if you no longer were dealing with that pain? And that will help focus you on, oh, if I didn't have the pain, then my relationships would get better, my financial situation would get better, I would be able to get back into sports or the gym, I would have a better body, I would be able to reconnect with doing these things that I love. All of those things can propel you forward. And when you're doing your therapy, even when you're really in pain one day, you know that this is doing the best thing for you and that it's going to get you to that ultimate outcome, and it'll help push you beyond yourself, beyond what just the energy will do, and it'll energetically align your mind with the devices that you're choosing to use on yourself or any other modalities for your health, and that will get you results that much better. And then if that is your baseline, there you have a purpose, you know where you're going, you know what it's going to mean to you when you get healthy, the next step is to make progress. It's not to change overnight. It's not to make these massive shifts that are going to get you from A to Z in a day or an hour or a couple of minutes, like some people think. It will shift you. These devices like this, like I said, even for the most ardent skeptics, this device has changed a lot of people's minds when they get it on themselves. However, if you make progress and show yourself, hey, look, I'm that much better because of this session. I am that much better because I took a walk around the block. I am that much better. That shifts your mindset to it's possible as well. So those goals, that purpose that you set up is now possible because you're showing yourself incremental improvements. We get stuck in a negative mindset when we show ourselves that the life that we're currently living isn't what we want. It's not matching our blueprint. And it gets even worse when we think we can't do anything to change it. So the best thing to do is to show yourself, yes, you can change. Yes, these things can shift because I am making progress each and every day. I'm moving towards that purpose and I'm showing myself what is possible. So that is what the progress portion of it. And then when all else fails, shift your physiology. If you're struggling with the purpose piece, if you're struggling to make any progress now, or you haven't made it for a long, long time, physiology, the way that you move your body can really make a huge difference. And it makes a huge difference in the moment, which the other ones can kind of take some time to show yourself what is happening or to develop. Physiology is something you can do immediately. It's something that will change how things go. If I walked on stage here and I show up like this, and I'm talking like this to all of you. I'm not making eye contact. I'm looking around, deep breaths, sourpuss on my face. Is that going to change any minds on this webinar? Or is my physiology, the way that I'm using my hands, my gestures, my energy on this podcast here, is that the thing that is going to motivate more people to action than if I was monotone and didn't have any enthusiasm for what I'm talking about? I just delivered it like this, the same words, the same content. It's really good stuff. I don't know what you're thinking. It matters how you talk to others. It matters how you talk to yourself. If your internal dialogue is saying the right words but in the wrong way, your body and your mind are going to say, yeah, you don't believe it, I'm not going for it, we're going to stay stuck. So make sure that you change your physiology. If you are having a tough day or nothing seems to be working, put your shoulders back, take a deep breath, smile, watch some comedy, move your body around, take a walk around the block, get your legs moving, get your arms moving, go to the gym, do something physical and see the difference that that makes in your health and in your overall mindset for that day. I can almost guarantee that it will shift things in your body. Try smiling and then being depressed. It doesn't work. Your physical smile, just the little change in your mouth makes it so that you can't think negative thoughts. Try it right now. If you are going through something, smile and think about that same thing. It will change your association to it in that moment pretty rapidly, and you will have a different association to that when it comes up again. It might break your pattern completely to where you start laughing when you even think about it. And this is a great way, the biomodulator, to shift your mindset as well, to shift your physiology when you can't do it yourself. You put a smile on your face, you can likely do that even if you're in a very chronic state, and then add this energy. This is going to physically shift your nervous system so that you are engaged and you are doing things that are beyond what you could otherwise do, and it's going to push you to be able to get those shoulders back, to be able to move around a little easier and make those physiological shifts that much easier to do in the future. And it'll keep getting better. The physiology piece, you don't have to wait until you find out the purpose and the progress. You can do that in the beginning. You can do it during, you can do it after. This should be something that you incorporate all throughout the process, and it will make those other pieces that much better. That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this makes sense as you're doing your therapy, as you're going to hopefully join us in our events coming up. Again, that's March 7th and 8th for the Biomodulator 101, the Foundation of Health Summit, hosted by Synergy. And if you are a practitioner or want to become one, it's March 12th to the 14th, hosted by Danielle Palmer and Natalie Sakamoto. We would love, love, love to see you there. Next week, we're going to talk about blockages, energetic blockages, how to overcome the obstacles, how to get that energy flowing in your body so that you have the best time possible. Stay energized, my friends. Thank you so much for joining, and I will see you next week and hopefully over the weekend at the conference, either virtually or in person. Have an amazing week, everyone. Talk soon.